So the first thing you want to do is look at your prompt question. We looked at the rubric and we knew we needed evidence beyond the document. So step one is to look at the question. And the question in this actual DBQ is, by the 1850s, the Constitution, originally framed as an instrument of national unity, had become a source of sectional discord and tension and ultimately contributed to the failure of the union it had created. So what are they saying here? The Constitution was supposed to what? Unify us as a country. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, secure the blessings of liberty. And what did it end up doing? Promote the general welfare. What did it end up doing? By the 1850s, that very Constitution is a divisive document. And they want you to assess the validity of that. And how are you going to come up with a claim? The claim is going to have to probably be, yes, it is, because of blank and blank, or because it made abolitionists mad, and it made pro-Southerners mad. And then you're going to have to ask yourself, is there an although for a third body paragraph? Or is there not enough evidence for an although? I don't think you know that yet without looking at documents and thinking about it, do you? So in my mind, I'm like, this is going to be a two-prong essay. Maybe three. I sure hope three, because three's better than two. We're going to look at all the documents, there's 7 of them, in a minute. But I gave you paper for a reason. What I want you to do with the paper right now, and you can do this at home, is I want you to get a sheet of paper out, you've got yours, without looking at any documents. I want you to make a list of everything you know from that time frame, or even before it if it has to do with slavery and the slavery crisis. Now, just to jog your memory, you wrote 13 journals, and there were 10 different characters portrayed. You could write their names down, you could write the events down, you could write any of that down. Make a list of everything that you know. Don't tell me you don't know anything. You just wrote journals. You certainly know your person, write your person down. If you can remember any of the other 9 people, write them down. Ooh, that's close. That's really close. Nobody looks good this close. Are you doing what I asked you to do, people at home? Are you making a list? Are you making a list? I look old and tired. Gross. Gross. It's like a cancer screening. That's my forehead.
He's rubbing his chin against it.
I'm taping. Make a list. Think of more. Think of people. Think of where we're going next week.
Oh my God, stop.
I have an itch.
I'm done. That's enough.
Think of other people.
I hope we have snow here tomorrow.
You don't?
Think of more. Think of what you wrote journals about. Think about the politics. Think about the people. Who were the other people's speeches about?
Is Missouri MI or is that Michigan?
That's Michigan. Missouri's MO. I was asked about a postal abbreviation for the state of Missouri. Missouri might have struck a chord with people, because Missouri did come into play as possible relevant information beyond the documents. Couple more, couple more minutes.
Coach, are your shoes taped?
No?
What is that?
Oh, stepped on something.
Stop.
Another minute. $30 seconds.
Okay, that was another thing.
Man, that was like 5.
Okay, okay. Okay. Now take that list and understand that that list is going to be the contribution to your evidence beyond the documents. I gave you a gift. The next step is something that looks like this. Body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3. Something that's structured like that. Why? Because you're going to drop documents that fit whatever your thesis is, which right now it's probably just 1 and 2, right? Can we all agree the thesis is probably going to be that the Constitution was supposed to be unifying, but it wasn't unifying for abolitionists in the North, and it wasn't unifying for Southerners. So where is it? It's not a unifying document anymore. It's troublesome. So when you analyze a document and make notes and annotations, you're going to write in that little chart where it's going to go. And you're going to take all of your information on that list and put it into your chart. So do you have names that would be pro-abolitionist? They'd probably go in your first body paragraph. Do you have names like Roger B. Taney that are pro-South? He'd probably go in your second, because that Dred Scott case. That would make abolitionists mad. So maybe your body paragraphs are what makes abolitionists mad and what makes abolitionists happy. What makes them mad makes Southerners happy. So hold on, I know you're confused. Let's go back to the question again. What are they asking? What's the question? They say assess the validity of this statement. They're saying that the Constitution was supposed to unify us, but we are so divided now. And we're on the brink of war. And you're going to say, yes, we are, because the Constitution feels like it let down the North, and the Constitution feels like it let down the South. I think that's the easiest path, isn't it? Because let's look at the documents together. Document 1's a picture of the Compromise of 1850. So if that's on your little list, that's actually not outside information. Did document 1 help the North or help the South? That's a loaded question. The answer is what? Well, in part helped the North because California came in as a free state. So if your second body paragraph is going to use that document and say that it created an imbalance that put our states' rights and our 10th Amendment in jeopardy. That'd be a Southern analysis of that, right? Does that make sense? Okay, what are you confused about? I want to help.
Everything.
Well, let's think about it. Let's break it down again. Don't get frustrated. What the question is, and this goes for everybody, they want to know the Constitution. Hold on. This document, 1787, Philadelphia, was supposed to make us one country, but we're about to fight against ourselves. And the question is, what is this document doing to unify us now? And the answer is what? Nothing. Not enough, probably, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
So the documents are gonna have to fit the narrative of, I thought the easiest path would be why the southern mindset people think it's not enough, and then why the northern mindset people think it's not enough. Both sides feel let down by the document. Does that make sense a little bit more? So this compromise, as Peyton said, he said, well, the South is frustrated by it because they let California in as a free state. So this would be that the Constitution's, it's letting down, the Southerners feel like they're gonna lose the 10th Amendment, the states' rights that they have. They feel frustrated. But part of the compromise is document 2. Document 2 might be more straightforward, look at it. You can tell, read through document 2, look at the date of it. And then let's talk about document 2. At the bottom is a hint for what document 2 is all about.
This is kidnappers?
Well, what's it about? Look at the date. What's happening in document 2 here, folks? Anyone want to raise their hand? Somebody different tell me, what is this? It's clearly an example of the enforcement of what part of the Compromise of 1850? The Federal Fugitive Slave Act. You better write that at the bottom of the document. Who did that infuriate? Passed by Congress, mind you. It infuriated abolitionists in the North. Do you understand? So wouldn't that go in your body paragraph of things that made the Northerners mad? Does that make sense? Because this is something that it feels disgusting to a Northerner. Like you're gonna what? You're gonna capture black people because they escaped from the South and they're living free, and you're gonna arrest people that have basically kidnapped them, you're calling them? They're not is William Stewart a kidnapper because he harbored an escaped slave? Is Harriet Tubman a kidnapper with the slaves that she set free? Is she a kidnapper? You see the thing is here? That you're feeling like this is passed by Congress, the Constitution let us down. We're taking that position, right? Okay, let's look at document 3 and document 4 without looking deep. Let's just look at the authors. That's the clue. The authors and the dates. What do we see here? What are these two authors? What do we know about them? What side do you think they're on? Abolitionist side. So Emerson is going to talk all about how horrible the fugitive slave law is. He sees it as suicidal and can't be obeyed in the last paragraph. He's bashing the constitutional law, the constitutionally elected Congress that passed this law. Document 4, Garrison is the most abolitionist guy this side of John Brown, isn't he? What do you think he's going to talk about? He hates the Constitution. He sees this document as a big giant letdown because slavery's allowed in it. There you go. Flip to document 5. Well, you got Southern James Buchanan president. What side do you think he's on? Without even looking yet. Pro-slave. He's saying that the Constitution let us down because the states' rights, the southern states have a right. Like, look at the second full paragraph. So he's bashing the Constitution too. He's the president. He feels let down because he feels the South's getting screwed over. Is this making a little bit more sense? You see what we're doing? We're just going through these documents. They're all people that are mad about the Constitution, and it's probably easiest to split it into 2 body paragraphs right now. Mad from a northern perspective, mad from a southern perspective. Last 2 documents, got to kind of know who Jefferson Davis is at this point, and if you don't, you better write it down. He was the what? It says President Jefferson Davis. Who the hell is he the president of? I thought Lincoln was president. He's the Confederate state president. Look at the date, circle it. The war already started. These documents are in order. Document 6 is Jefferson Davis, President Jefferson Davis, saying that the Constitution proved to be not working, he says, unavailing. Southern perspective. And then what position do you think Lincoln's taking? I mean, that's going to be pretty clear.
Definitely pro-slavery.
No. So what do we have here? What do we need to do? Well, I need to give you the last 10 minutes because I think you need to comb through the actual documents, but I think I jump-started you. Then I need to like throw you in the deep end of the pool on Monday because I'm assuming we're not going to have school tomorrow, probably because everybody's sick and it's going to snow. But if we do have school, we'll change things around. But what I'm assuming is that you need to have a day where you just write this, even if it's crappy, like a draft, so that we can, the next time we're together, look at me, like Wednesday after the Seward House, we can write it. I can help you with it and restructure it. So if you want to type it so you can edit it, there's a place to drop it online, or if you want to write it in pencil, or you could just cross out a rewrite. But here's what I'm going to do. There's the rubric up there in the DBQ, the translation of grades. Do you see all that in black? I'm going to write it with you. I'm just going to make you for one day write it by yourselves, even if you're confused and it's crappy, because the only way we can do this and get a good grade, I think, is to do this together. And does that make sense? So I'm spending a lot of time in class. So I'm going to make you spend a 40-minute day, frustratingly, start right now, finishing annotating the documents, then writing as much as you can. And then on the second day, I'm going to help everybody. But I want you to try it like you're alone in the test. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.